I get rather evangelical about this profession. This is a calling to serve the country, not in a patriotic flag-waving way, but to serve the country by diligently and faithfully reporting civic activities, what's going on in communities, what's going on in the country. I've been a journalist for over 40 years. I've always thought that I was born to ask hard questions that people don't want to answer. We heard in 2015 that the Malheur Enterprise was for sale. So I came over and went through the operation, talked to people around the community. The paper had not a very good reputation because it had just been neglected for so long and actually at risk of going out of business. I just couldn't stand the idea of an area losing a newspaper if I could do anything about it. My belief is that people in this day and age still yearn for good, solid, local, honest reporting.
Vail, it's a small rural area, and I think we are indicative of a lot of rural areas, not only in Oregon, but really throughout the United States. The Malheur Enterprise is instrumental to the community.
How, in a small way, can we modify how journalists are doing their job today so that we can survive, so the country is not left with vast news deserts? I'm sort of at the tail end of my career, but to me that is absolutely essential to what brings me in here every day. The American people are very frustrated at what's happened with journalism. There's a strain between the citizens and the media because there's a hunger for the information and we're not fully serving that appetite. And what helps me to that conclusion is frankly our experience here in Vail.
What makes the Malheur Enterprise special, in my opinion, is the way we cover things.
We started focusing very hard on just deeper reporting on a weekly basis.
You can read a story by us and you're going to get all your questions answered. We're not going to just scratch the surface.
And the community reacted immediately to that.
Les Zatz is important not only for being able to keep up with the local news, but also digging in to really what needs to be revealed and reported on.
People applauded it, they wanted more, they've been supportive of it, and that just persuaded me that there is still the need for journalists to serve those information needs here and across the country.
I want to invite the first panel up to the stage.
Les Zatz, who is an extraordinary investigative reporter who recently retired from the Oregonian in Portland to purchase his own weekly newspaper.
People are starved for good, trustful information, and you're not going to get that unless we do return somewhat to the basics of journalism and get away from this notion that every reporter's got to file 6 stories and put up 16 posts. We've been our own worst enemy in a lot of ways. I mean, we all have resources. It's all of our judgments and decisions about how to use that resource for the most impact. And I think we need to sort of re-energize the profession about the responsibility, particularly with local news, and quit complaining about, I don't have 10 reporters. Well, if you got 5 reporters, make the best you can of it and serve your community. I think the American people understand that without journalists, without the press, they would not have the freedom, the democracy that they enjoy today and have for more than 200 years. Hello, this is Les. If we could get any sort of information from the White House on what led the president to turn it down, because this was a big deal for our little county here. I want to have the authority to say, look, if I can do this in Vail, Oregon, in the poorest county in the state, with just 2 reporters, and I can put out a quality journalism product that is a successful business, then anybody can do it anywhere if they want to do it. That's really, I hope, going to be the legacy of the Malheur Enterprises. In a small way, we are addressing that national conversation about what's the future of local journalism. It's not very much money for the grand scheme of things, but it means a lot to people here.